And welcome to the news at 10 on NTA News24. We're reaching you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Tessie Umeri. Let's begin with the headlines.
Terrorism is a global issue, it's a global problem. There are several countries that are challenged in that respect.
Chief of Defense Staff assures of commitment to tackling insecurity. Dismisses allegations of Christian persecution in Nigeria. Ministry of Interior holds performance management workshop to strengthen efficiency and accountability. Federal government and health partners to commit to eliminating lead poisoning in Nigeria. Sixteen governorship candidates in Anambra State signed peace accord. Now details. Nigeria has again dismissed allegations of Christian persecution in the country, restating that the nation's security agencies remain committed to tackling insecurity in the country. Chief of Defense Staff General Olufemi Oluyede stated this after a closed-door meeting of all heads of security agencies in the country. Nigeria's top security men in a closed-door session. A General Appraisal Committee meeting with one key agenda on the table: dislodge the stubborn weed of insecurity giving the nation a bad name and leaving the door open for different narratives inconsistent with the situation on ground. A new and corrosive twist is the religious coloration being given to this protracted confrontation with outlaws. The National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu hosted the meeting with all heads of security agencies in the country in attendance. In a chat with newsmen shortly after the meeting, Chief of Defense Staff General Olufemi Oluyede stated that though Nigeria is facing security challenges, especially terrorism, insurgency and banditry, the Hydra-headed challenge is not targeted at any particular religion.
But I want to make it categorically clear here that no Christian is being persecuted in Nigeria. You know very well that terrorism is a global issue, it's a global problem. There are several countries that are challenged in that respect. And it calls for collective effort.
He assured all Nigerians and the international community that the current security leadership is committed to tackling insecurity in the country.
And you will recall recently, that's just last week, the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, recalibrated the security architecture by bringing on board officers of proven integrity who are seasoned in asymmetric warfare to add impetus to our operations. I want to assure Nigerians going forward that we're going to add more to what we're doing, add more impetus to our operations, and ensure that we checkmate this act of terrorism within Nigeria.
General Oluyede welcomed support from any country to defeat terrorism and insurgency in the country. From the Office of the National Security Advisor, Tessie Umeri, NTA News. Meanwhile, Chairman Nigerians in the Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, Abike Dabiri-Erewa, has urged Nigerians at home and abroad to unite against the decision to classify Nigeria as a country of particular concern by President Donald Trump of US. Making reference to statements issued by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Dabiri-Erewa appealed to Nigerians in the diaspora to remain calm, united, and continue to defend and project the true image of the country. Abike Dabiri-Erewa, while noting that Nigeria is a country built on tolerance, diversity, and democratic values, said the conspiracy theory depicting Nigeria as a country killing Christians in particular is not the true reflection of what is going on in Nigeria. The NIDCOM boss reaffirms President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's unwavering commitment to religious liberty and mutual respect. President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of 5 new permanent secretaries to fill existing vacancies in the Federal Civil Service. The newly appointed permanent secretaries are Ibrahim Abdul Karim Ozi, Federal Capital Territory; Eze Mama John Chidebere, Imo State; Garba Abdul Saleh, Usman North Central Geopolitical Zone; Muhammad Musa Ishaku Northeast Geopolitical Zone; and Ukere BRM Chibugu Southeast Geopolitical Zone. The appointments followed a rigorous and transparent selection process in line with the administration's commitment to meritocracy and excellence in the civil service. While congratulating the newly appointed permanent secretaries, the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Didi Esther Wilson-Jack, commended President Tinubu for his unwavering commitment to entrenching the principles of transparency, meritocracy, and professionalism in the civil service. She emphasized that these appointments reflect the administration's dedication to fostering a competent and result-oriented public service that meets the needs of Nigerians. A 3-day performance management workshop is underway in Abuja for agencies under the Ministry of Interior. The training aims to strengthen efficiency, accountability, and measurable results across the paramilitary services. Victor Azu has more.
A new order is emerging in the Ministry of Interior, one where performance, not position, defines progress. This 3-day workshop brings together officers from the correctional, immigration, civil defense, and fire services to sharpen how they plan, measure, and deliver results. Whether on the front lines of security or behind administrative desks, the goal is to build a service culture where duty is matched by measurable outcomes.
You have to go down to your unit, to your department, to go and cascade this thing down.
I encourage you to make the most of this opportunity. I want you to listen attentively, engage fully, and reflect on how these principles can be applied in your everyday duties.
We will ensure that we engage actively and we achieve as much as we can, and it will serve as a learning curve for us all.
The essence of it is to really reduce the paperwork. In other words, transmitting to paperless regime.
For the Minister of Interior, it is a turning point, one that rewards diligence and results, not merely years in uniform.
Gone are the days when the only criteria for growth is seniority. Today, the major qualification, major criteria for growth is efficiency and performance.
As the workshop continues, participants are expected to translate this policy shift into daily practice, because in public service, results, not rank, will now tell the story. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
The Nigeria Customs Service is presenting its modernized trade facilitation agenda to the Secretariat of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area in Accra, Ghana. Controller General of Customs Adewale Adeni highlighted reforms, including the introduction of the deployment of the Biodogu Unified Customs Management System, implementation of the Authorized Economic Operator AEO program, the launch of the Advanced Ruling Platform, initiation of the Customs Partnership for Africa Cooperation in Trade, CPACT, in collaboration with the Afrexim Bank, as initiatives that have positioned Nigeria Customs Service as unique in the continent.
Data across the continent. This is a challenge that I have accepted to play, working with other colleagues. And secondly, the existing structure which the Secretariat has created, bringing together all heads of customs administration, also needed to be strengthened.
We look forward to a substantively meaningful dialogue that will be sustainable, that will find solutions to the challenges that we will be experiencing as we implement the agreement, because we know there will be challenges. And as I said in our private meeting, customs authorities are at the heart of implementation of the AfCFTA.
The visit is to seek the support of the African Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat for the African Cooperation in Trade CPACT Conference coming up between 17th and 19th November in Abuja, which has gained presidential endorsement. Nigeria has set the stage for a high-level gathering of South Africa's G20 outreach meeting in Abuja, aimed at turning Africa's vast potential into tangible economic prosperity. Declared open by Nigeria's Minister of Agriculture, Abubakar Kyari, says Nigeria and South Africa prioritize unlocking the powerful connection between farmers and industries to sustain the whole of the African continent. Garba Nata'ala has more.
What makes this development worthwhile is that it brings together Africa's biggest economies, that is South Africa and Nigeria, at the time the African continent is seeking greater influence by reshaping its governance structure economically with a clear action plan. Leaders here have identified Africa's agricultural potential as the antidote for its industrial revolution. This is the major push for intra-African cooperation by leveraging South Africa's role in the G20 and Nigeria's own agricultural strength to ensure food security and transform the continent's vast potential into real-time economic growth.
With the large consumer base and a growing integration into global markets, these opportunities reaffirm Nigeria's commitment to building a globally competitive agro-industrial economy open to partnerships and investment. We therefore look forward to collaborating with you to achieve these goals and build more sustainable food systems.
We seek to transform agriculture into a catalyst for industrialization, as has been done elsewhere, into regional trade integration and sustainable development. These are moved from subsistence to scale, from commodities to competitiveness, from isolation to interconnected prosperity.
With the theme Solidarity, Equality and Sustainability, the forum serves as a preparatory meeting ahead of the main G20 summit in Ethiopia. The resolve here is firm, sending a clear signal that Africa need not to be a participant but a driving force in global economy. Garba Muhammad Nata'ala, NTA News.
This is the news at 10 on NTA News 24. More reports when we return. To stay with us.
Legendary final sale of the year is here. This festive season, enjoy extra savings on luxury and comfortable sofa sets, modern and functional dining sets, sophisticated and smart bed sets, and our royal collections. Classy, premium, and truly exclusive. Shop 10 million Naira and receive a complimentary Daisy tea set. Spend 15 million and take home a 65-inch smart TV. Go higher at 20 million and experience unmatched comfort with our exclusive massage chair. Visit our showrooms in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, and Enugu, or shop online. It's big, it's bold, it's unforgettable. It's Baffy Furniture's legendary final sale of the year.
This is NTA News 24.
Thank you for staying tuned. Let's talk culture. The Emir of Argungu and the Deputy Governor of Kebbi State have secured a federal government partnership for the 2026 Argungu International Fishing and Cultural Festival with the Minister of Arts, Culture and Tourism and the Creative Economy. Gufan Shaji Ngwai reports that this globally recognized festival is a vital celebration of the Kebbi people's cultural heritage and a key platform for advancing Nigerian tourism and cross-cultural interaction with the government, committed to its success as a catalyst for economic diversification and national unity under the Renewed Hope agenda.
To be a catalyst for exactly this kind of growth, harnessing our cultural heritage for economic diversification and national unity.
The ministry's collaboration with the committee on the 2026 Arugungu International Cultural Festival will enhance cultural preservation, boost the creative economy, strengthen security, infrastructure.
The festival is holding next year from the 11th to 14th, and to invite the minister to please do the needful, bringing the weight of this ministry and all its agencies to work with us to ensure that the festival is staged as it should.
Government has also guaranteed the success of the 2026 Argungu International Fishing and Cultural Festival through a comprehensive strategy implemented via the 2026 budgetary process, which includes direct capital investment for site upgrades and road rehabilitation, deployment of a joint security task force, national support for event management, making and economic empowerment. The federal government, in collaboration with health partners, has renewed its commitment to eliminating lead or lead poisoning in Nigeria. The focus is on strengthening surveillance systems, reviewing existing regulations, and promoting sustainable interventions. These are among the key solutions as Nigeria joins other countries around the world to commemorate National Lead Poisoning Elimination Day. Olusheye Adeagbo has more.
It's been 15 years since more than 500 children fell victim of suspected lead poisoning. Now the case has resurfaced. According to the Federal Ministry of Health, unsafe mining and ore processing practices in Zamfara State were identified as the source of the tragedy. So also is Sokoto State, where hundreds of children recently lost their lives over same deadly exposure. The need to end recurring incidents of lead poisoning remains a source of concern.
And then what is the role of the state in all this?
Discussions during the engagement focused on boosting public awareness about the causes and symptoms of lead poisoning and addressing funding gaps.
Much work remains to be done. And going forward, our focus will be to formally launch the National Lead Elimination Policy and Strategic Plan with clear targets and funding frameworks, expand diagnostic and laboratory networks of blood lead testing nationwide.
Of recent, we have started seeing a whole lot of lead being brought to the home, and that is the solar energy using batteries. What is inside every battery is lead. And in this process, we go to communities where they are being cannibalized. They break it down, pour it out. Every individual having contact to this lead is a potential poison. Then the toys, the plastic toys, the hardeners you use in plastic toys are lead also. When you expose little children to this lead, they put it in their mouth, they rub it over their body, you are equally adding lead. And like I said, the primary target of lead is the brain, is neurotoxic. Once it affects the brain, it affects everything about that child.
The 2025 National Lead Poisoning Prevention Day themed No Safe Level, Act Now to End Lead Exposure brought together health partners who reaffirmed their renewed commitment to protecting all citizens, particularly children and pregnant women, from the dangers of lead poisoning. In Abuja, Olusheye Adeagbo, NTA News.
Former Catholic Archbishop of Abuja, John Cardinal Onaiyekan, has called for stronger collaboration between the public and private sectors to curb medical tourism in Nigeria. Onaiyekan made the call in Abuja during the inauguration of ultra-modern operating suites, intensive care units, and renal dialysis units of Wellington Neurosurgery Hospital. The Cardinal, who led a Holy Mass before the inauguration, condemned the frequent medical trips abroad by Nigerian leaders.
Why does government not partner with private individuals so that our people will have care?
Lending his voice, Chief Executive Officer of the hospital, Dr. Charles Ugwanyi, said with the caliber of professionals that Nigeria produces, no citizen should go abroad for treatment.
All over the world, the delivery of contemporary high-end healthcare is no longer domiciled solely in the hands of the government. There's a lot of inputs from the private sector.
The new hospital is poised to provide comprehensive treatment for neurological and renal conditions using advanced medical technology. The Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission, Bishop Stephen Adegbite, says that Christian leaders are working closely with their Muslim counterparts under the Nigeria Interreligious Council in fostering peace and mutual understanding among Nigerians. Bishop Adegbite, while reacting to the recent remark by the U.S. President Donald Trump that Christian genocide is taking place in Nigeria and that the United States may take military action, he notes that both faiths have been victims of the insurgents in the past years.
This is not a religious war, but a national security emergency rooted in terrorism and criminality. Nigeria's religious leaders stand united against violence.
The 16 governorship candidates in the Anambra State off-cycle election and their political parties have reiterated their commitment to peaceful conduct before, during, and after the election come November 8. Their positions were made known at the signing of the peace accord, which took place in Awka, the state capital. Onome Okadibo has details.
The accord is to commit the 16 contesting political parties and their governorship candidates participating in the election to accept the result of the election if adjudged to be free, fair, and credible. The meeting further encouraged political parties to avoid statements that will incite violence before, during, and after the election. The National Chairman INEC, Joash Ojo Anupiton, and the Inspector General of Police, who was represented, promised not to compromise the process and hailed the commitment of the National Peace Commission in ensuring peaceful elections in Nigeria.
Voters should therefore expect a significant improvement in election day logistics. Enhanced resource management process will also be evident. The Nigerian Police Force has developed an integrated intelligence-driven operational plan designed to prevent infractions, neutralize threats, and secure the election process.
Other activities that characterized the event was the reading of the peace accord and goodwill messages from election stakeholders.
Actually meant to encourage the political actors because they have to work diligently, confidently, and happily to make sure that democracy becomes believable, the democracy becomes credible. To the distinguished candidate and political parties, today's commitment is not in words only. It is a duty that calls for discipline, honor, and responsibility.
It is the consensus of the electorate in Anambra State that the best practices promised and assured by all stakeholders, especially governorship candidates, will reflect come November 8. In Awka, Onome Okadibo, NTA News.
Credible intelligence gathering is being identified as key factor to an improved security services and operations recorded against arms trafficking, banditry, kidnapping, and terrorism in the month of October. Kenneth Nanim reports that this was revealed at the monthly joint security briefing championed by the National Orientation Agency.
To maintain peace and order and unity that will engender national development, the military, the police, and other security agencies have been on the trail of criminal elements, making sure crime is prevented, culprits arrested, victims rescued, and stolen assets recovered. Statistics being made available for the month of October under review scores performances higher than the previous month.
A lot of arms and ammunition were seized during the month of September, but that rose significantly in the month of October. The ICPC performance in the month of October. 44 petitions were received, 15 investigations concluded, 5 new cases filed, and 2 convictions secured. DSS, police, and immigration services improved measurably in October, producing faster interdictions and fewer casualties.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the Nigeria Immigration Service, and the Federal Road Safety Corps, the EFCC, and the ICPC, amongst others, made significant breakthroughs in the month of October. Nigeria's name having been deleted from the Financial Action Task Force monetary list, Director NOA also noted as an indication of effort by the federal government to fight illicit financial flows.
Let me speak specifically to some of the imports of the tweet. One, to say there is a Christian genocide in Nigeria. And I'm sure even America knows that is not true. The United States commended Nigeria publicly for the arrest of 2 major terrorists.
To sustain the tempo, traditional rulers, religious leaders, and other citizens are enjoined to collaborate with security agencies by providing timely and credible intelligence that will help in addressing security challenges in the country. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Time now for another break. Do stay with us.
Let's have credible elections at the local government so that these credible people can manage the funds of local government properly.
There are a lot of respected traditional rulers in the state who can say, look, enough of this thing. Mr. Governor, welcome. Thank you for coming. When you win, what will you do?
I was the first woman that mobilized women within the local government to form the National Council of Women Society, by creating awareness in women that they must serve, they must be part of what is happening within their community.
If you stop expenditure on infrastructure, how do you now attract investments?
The state governors, the presidency, that the federal government and the local government are all waiting for revenue from crude oil. Every state has something peculiar. So the emphasis now, if your local government has something peculiar to that particular local government, the emphasis should be keep producing that particular product.
You need to do 3 things. Prevent the ability of the terrorist groups to generate funding, their ability to recruit, and then their ability to access weapons.
I should not like this way. Title, I sit in the front row in the church. If I'm going to mosque and I'm calling people are passing in God's own house. What am I doing? I'm mentoring a new generation. They say that the only way to be taken seriously is to be seen to have a lot of money.
Morning Nigeria, live every weekday between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. on the network service of the NTA.
Thank you for staying tuned. The People's Democratic Party is sinking into deeper crisis as the Senator Samuel Anyanwu-led faction takes over the national headquarters of the party in Abuja amid tight security. Timothy Yusuf tells us more.
For the PDP, the major opposition political party, this Monday began with a convergence of party members and supporters of the declared acting national chairman of the PDP, Mohammed Abdurrahman, by the Wike Anyanwu-led faction. They thereafter proceeded to the Wadata Plaza, national headquarters of the PDP. Heavy security presence here as the vice chairman, PDP North Central, Mohammed Abdurrahman, accompanied by loyal NWC members, assumes office as the party's acting national chairman, promising to heal the party of its wounds.
A lot of wrongdoings within the party, and the highest organ of the party, which is the National Working Committee, now look into and agree to make a
possibility of having a leadership that will bring everybody together. And that is why the former national chairman was being suspended. And that's how I emerged as an acting national chairman of our party.
Yeah, he's acting chairman for now. He will act until we get a substantive chairman. For now, everything about we are obeying the court order. The court judgment is quite clear. And we are not adverse of doing the convention, but we want the right thing to be done so that our party will be strong and to go into convention with one unity.
Abdulrahman was declared acting national chairman of the PDP by the Samuel Anyanwu-led National Working Committee after it announced the suspension of the party's national chairman, Umar Damagum, and the National Publicity Secretary, Debo Ologoagba, and 4 others. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Concerned party loyalists under the banner of PDP Patriots have reaffirmed their unwavering support for the Ambassador Ilia Damagun-led National Working Committee, condemning the recent wave of defections by some elected officials as detrimental to party growth. The group, at a media briefing in Abuja, appealed to PDP Board of Trustees, which is the conscience of the party, to urgently resolve the crisis in the party. Again, Timothy Yusuf has more.
It's a major agenda here. PDP patriots believe that the development is destabilizing and harmful to party unity.
We, the PDP patriots, hereby affirm our total support and loyalty to the People's Democratic Party as espoused by the PDP founding fathers on the pedestal of peace, inclusivity, fairness, and justice.
The group cautioned defectors against maligning the PDP, saying their departures were driven by personal ambition rather than internal party crises. They commended grassroots members for their loyalty, noting that the base of the party remains strong and committed. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
The Federal University of Transportation, Daura, has been honored with a merit award at the centenary celebration of the first aircraft landing in Nigeria, held at Ionic Malam Aminu Kano International Airport. The prestigious event brought together high-profile personalities from the aviation industry, students, and the younger generation to commemorate this remarkable milestone.
The Federal University of Transportation, Daura, was honored with the Merit Award at the centenary celebration of the first aircraft landing in Nigeria, held at the iconic Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, Kano. This prestigious event brought together high-profile personalities from the aviation industry, students, and the younger generation to commemorate this remarkable milestone. The Vice-Chancellor of FUTD, Professor Omar Adam Kaseo, received the Merit Award on behalf of the university, recognizing its dedication to advancing transportation and aviation education through innovation, research, and human capacity development. The university's commitment to training future professionals has significantly strengthened Nigeria's transport and aviation sector. The event provided a laudable platform for the university's positive projection, showcasing its contribution to the aviation industry. FUTD's delegation, led by Professor Katsil, included other key officials such as Professor Ahmed Abubakar, Professor Yusuf Jibril, Dr. Mohammed Rabiu Musa, and other senior staff members. This celebration not only marked a significant milestone in Nigeria's aviation history, but also highlighted the university's role in shaping the industry's future.
Marriage is believed to be a sacred, religious, moral, and legal commitment between two people who commit to love, support, and care for each other daily until death. However, the way marriage rites are performed varies from country to country, but most commonly recognized in Nigeria is the church wedding, Muslim or Islamic wedding, registry office wedding, or court wedding, and the traditional local marriage. Now, in this special report, Alika Okpanachi-Arua is exploring a unique concept of marriage practice called marriage by proxy.
In a country where marriage is deeply rooted in culture, religion, and personal connection, the idea of tying the knots without the physical presence of the bride or groom is raising eyebrows. While proxy marriages are legally recognized in some countries and even practiced among Nigerians living abroad, soldiers on deployment, or couples separated by long distance, many insist that a remarriage must be eyeball to eyeball, a union where both partners are physically present to exchange vows.
It's quite disrespectful because he has to be present because it's a vow. For better, for worse, I can't be having a vow with another person and then trying to keep the vow with another total stranger. It's totally off it.
I can't. Those marriages, the man usually feels so reluctant, like he's not always serious with the marriage.
Yes, his brother can represent, because now I think we're in an age where virtual wedding is like a thing.
No, I will not. Marriage is not a joke. Marriage is not social media.
Expert says the growing debate reflects changing social realities, especially with technologies bridging distances for couples separated by travel, work, or migration.
You cannot have a marriage if they're not present, because they must read the vows. If the vows are not read by them, there's nothing to join.
The wife is in Saudi, or the husband is Saudi and the wife is in Nigeria, so that one is allowed. But if the husband and wife, both of them are outside of Nigeria, it is not too allowed.
My junior brother, for example, is in Germany. The wife then was in Abeokuta, though they are both in Germany now. So my parents and everybody now went to Abeokuta to see the family of the bride-to-be, their now wife, to consolidate the marriage. That can only happen under customary act. Under the act, everybody is present physically, and after it, you issue certificate.
Supporters of proxy marriages maintain that the important thing is consent and understanding, whether proxy or physical. The marriage should be based on mutual agreements and love.
If the woman that I want to marry is somewhere and is ready to marry, even if she's on ground or I'm not on ground, the ceremony is just a mere ceremony.
As the debate continues, one thing is clear. While proxy marriage may be practical, for some, many Nigerians still hold dear the beauty and emotion of saying, I do, eyeball to eyeball. In Abuja, Alika Okpanachi-Arua, NTA News.
Many thanks, Alika. It's better eyeball to eyeball. Marriage is a serious business. Now, in the quiet moments of cooking, a simple phone call or the use of any other inflammatory device can turn deadly. Imagine someone cooking and chatting away while gas cylinder quietly leaks. The distraction masks the silent danger as invisible gas fills the air. A spark from the phone or other inflammatory device could ignite a devastating explosion, turning a routine evening into a nightmare. Safety experts say it means giving full attention to the task at hand always. Lydia Sampson tells us more.
Liquefied petroleum gas, also known as cooking gas, plays a critical role in daily life, providing a clean, efficient and convenient energy source for millions of Nigerian households. The question is, are users elevating LPG safety standards to foster sustainable energy use, protect lives and advance Nigeria's clean cooking goals? Rachel John Mark and Kafayat Umar have been using cooking gas for over 10 years. While Rachel John Mark admits to being aware that cylinders expire, Kafayat said that she is not. One thing they have in common, though, is being safety conscious when using cooking gas.
To be on the safer side, every 2 years I change my cylinder. Yeah, I discard that one and then get another. I wouldn't know whether those that I discarded it for, whether they resell or whatever, but my safety is what I'm concerned about.
Me, I don't own it down before I light it. So, and I also make sure I check the burner to make sure it's tightened up before I light it. And I make sure my food, I check them so that I will not have overheating. Like when my food get burned, when food get burned, at a point then everything will start producing a lot of heat that I can make it, the gas itself, to explode.
These resonate with most LPG users.
Not using a phone close to the cylinder when you're cooking, and leakage also can cause explosion.
When you check the expiry date from the date you purchased and you check the date is going to be due. So from that date, you probably will have to condemn the cylinder and get a new one. But you know, due to the high cost of things in Nigeria now, people are taking a lot of risk.
Experts insist gas cylinder safety is crucial to preventing serious accidents. One key risk, they reiterate, is the danger of using cylinders past their expiry date.
Time period for validity is 15 years. Okay, cylinder should not be used beyond the 15-year mark ordinarily. But after the 10th year, you are advised to take it for what is called requalification. As regulators, we don't make it a habit to go into homes and kitchen spaces. But this is a key platform to send the message out there. Our health, safety and environment community directorate does a lot in terms of putting out safety tips.
He stressed that expired cylinders may develop cracks or corrosion, compromising their integrity. Human error also plays a significant role. Improper handling, storage, and neglecting regular inspections can lead to dangerous gas leaks. Using a telephone near an active gas cylinder is a risky choice many might overlook. But believe me, the stakes are high, and therefore our daily habits must respect these hidden hazards, because a moment's distraction could cost a life, or permit me to say, even lives. Mitigating danger requires always checking the cylinder's expiry date before use and ensuring it is stored in a well-ventilated area away from heat sources. Regular maintenance and responsible use are essential to safeguarding lives and property from potentially deadly gas cylinder explosions. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
From research, Nigeria's population of over 220 million with a growth rate of 2.5 per annum requires about 550,000 units in the next 10 years to meet the housing deficit. This will require about 5.5 trillion naira every year to fix. In this report, housing correspondent Francis Udojo takes a look at the deliberate efforts being taken by the federal government to meet the housing needs of Nigerians.
Shelter is an important part of human needs. However, the concern is that many in developing countries, including Nigeria, do not have the financial muscle to afford a decent home. This is coupled with decades of limited access to affordable financing and home ownership opportunities for majority of Nigerians. In view of this, the President Bola Tinubu's Renewed Hope housing program in the last 2 years have shown deliberate effort through actionable policies in reducing the country's estimated 28 million housing deficit. This initiative is being implemented by the Minister of Housing, Ahmed Musa Dangiwa. The Renewed Hope Housing Plan is characterized into 3 categories. First is the Renewed Hope cities, designed to have at least 1,000 housing units each in major urban centers. Secondly, the Renewed Hope estates of 250 housing units in every state capital, designed for middle-income Nigerians, while the Renewed Hope social housing estates is to deliver 100 affordable homes in each of the Nigeria's 774 local government areas, targeting the most vulnerable Nigerians.
The political will of my president, he has given us all the political will. Once he appoints you as a minister, he ensures that he put you at the right place where you could perform. So once you have that political will, there's nothing you cannot do for you.
We have been well funded towards achieving these mandates, and we have these projects ongoing all over the country.
Data from the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics indicates that policies made within 2 years of President Tinubu's administration moved real estate sector from top 5 to top 3 largest sector, where the real estate industries are the largest employers of labor and economic drivers. The ministry made public-private partnerships, PPPs, key to implementing large-scale affordable housing and urban development interventions. Under the PPP framework arrangement, the ministry is working towards delivering 100,000 units with consortium of developers. Under Phase 1, the ministry aimed at delivering 7 Renewed Hope cities, targeting the FCT, Lagos, Kano, Maiduguri, Enugu, Port Harcourt, and Nasarawa. Construction is already in progress with close to 12,000 housing units underway. In the FCT, 3,112 units, Lagos, 2,000 units, and Kano, 2,000 units, among others.
In housing, we realize that you cannot rely solely on the budgetary allocation. If that's the hit, that is the hit, you know. There is constraint to what the government can fund for you. But there is a PPP, public-private partnerships, to which we have collaborated to ensure that we upscale the performance of PPP to ensure that we work together.
In my state, he said 500 units should be started in Kano State, maybe because of our population and the importance to Mr. President. So Kano people, we need to appreciate him.
So one of the things that we have seen under the present administration of the current president, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is his pragmatic approach to see how private sector can drive economic growth.
The housing types include apartment buildings with 1, 2, and 3-bedroom units, as well as terraces, duplexes, and bungalows with housing portal made available for off-takers.
Those houses are organic in nature, and so that if you can't afford 3-bedroom, please pick the 2 bedrooms. And then you manage it up to a certain time when you can afford to add another 1-bedroom by constructing 2 walls and roofing it. Then it becomes a 3 bedrooms. This is one way we are doing, and we will ensure that even access to the houses are made easy and accessible for Nigerians.
In terms of budgetary allocation, the federal government appropriated the sum of 126.5 billion naira being part of the 2023 budget and the 2024 supplementary budget for the housing project. Meanwhile, the National Assembly secured an additional 50 billion naira for the ministry's 2025 budget, with achievements also being recorded in national land administration and tilting, reforms in land administration to simplify property ownership, and commitment to establishing a real estate regulatory authority, as well as building materials manufacturing hubs. Government say housing deficit would be greatly reduced in the country soon. Francis Udojo, NTA News.
This is the news at 10 on NTA News24. Here is a recap of our top stories.
Terrorism is a global issue, it's a global problem. There are several countries that are challenged in that respect.
Chief of Defense Staff assures of commitment to tackling insecurity, dismisses allegations of Christian persecution in Nigeria. Ministry of Interior holds performance management workshop to strengthen efficiency and accountability. Federal government and health partners commit to eliminating lead poisoning in Nigeria. And 16 governorship candidates in Anambra State signed peace accord.
This is NTA News24.
We now take you to the world of sports for Sports Package.
Nigeria international and Real Sociedad striker Edna Imadi has been named Spanish Liga Female Player of the Month for October. Imadi netted 5 times in 3 league outings for Real Sociedad during the month. The 25-year-old scored the winning goal in Real Sociedad's historic 1-0 victory over Barcelona last weekend. It was Barcelona's first away defeat in the league since 2023. Imadi has now scored 7 times for Real Sociedad this season. And the Champions League returns this week with a blockbuster match day 4. Liverpool face a rejuvenated Real Madrid side under Xabi Alonso. In the other match day 4 fixtures, Barcelona travel to Belgium knowing that Club Brugge are no pushovers, and Erling Haaland faces his old clubs once again.
And that's the news at 10 on NTA News 24. Thank you for watching. I am Tessie Mary. Good morning.